We're not going to have crime either. They made dozens of arrests, and that's what starts to happen. Again, cashless bail. Watch what we do with that. Today, we're formally declaring a public safety emergency. This is an emergency. This is a tragic emergency. And it's embarrassing for me to be up here. You know, I'm going to see Putin. I'm going to Russia on Friday. I don't like being up here talking about how unsafe and how dirty and disgusting this once beautiful capital was.
I can bring him on. He needs no introduction, but I'm going to introduce him anyway. He's an author, a pundit, a strategist, a columnist. He's on TV all the time, guests on these various shows. He has a wonderful YouTube channel, which I changed the name of it. I think it's called Cliff's Edge right now. I'm not sure if it's Blue Amp. I'm not really sure. Okay, he's giving me the thumbs up. Cliff Schecter, how are you, my friends?
I'm doing well. Thank you. You know, as we all can, as I think you've said, we were in 1933 Germany. Okay, doing as well as we can. Definitely have some optimism, like you too.
But let me ask you this. This Freudian slip of Trump saying he was going to go to Russia, as in Alaska,
right.
To Putin. Yeah, that was. I mean, on the one hand, I shouldn't be shocked by anything anymore, but that seemed like a pretty big tell. Like, what the hell?
It did. Again, the worst part of all of this is, and why I reserve such scorn and attack constantly corporate media, and I make sure to single out individuals who are incredible. Today on a live stream I did earlier today, we had on Rex Hubke, fantastic columnist for USA Today, who's like does a mixture of humor and politics.
Brought up at AP, by the way.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's amazing, and he is somebody who is at a corporate outlet. But when I was trying to explain what happened with Stephen Colbert or whatever, I'm like, were you fired by Paramount? Were you fired by CBS? Were you fired by Lionsgate? Were you fired by MTV? Were you fired? Was it Nickelodeon Plus? Was it?
Right.
I mean,
it was the new company, Schecter.
I know. I was being facetious, being an asshole, because the point is that there's 6 of these enormous entities, and so the thing is that when the reason why Trump can get away with stuff like that is because, of course, they say they're objective, but they're not. Each side gets to say this or that, or they're corporately owned and they're bowing to Trump. $20 million settlements and all the rest. Here's a 24 karat gold. I mean, Tim Apple,
Right.
and so he does that. He says that, and there are questions to be asked. Like, has he agreed to give Alaska back? Is that why he's calling it Russia? I mean, because it was once theirs, as we know. Seward's icebox got a hold of that shit for us. Was he saying that because he intends to follow the well-trodden path of Steven Seagal and Tara Reid and other wonderful Americans and go settle there once hopefully our system actually works? And
please, go.
I don't know. You tell me. Like, there's a number of reasons he could have said I'm going to Russia twice, but it seems very Freudian. And anybody who's read Greg or Craig Unger or any number of people knows that this has all been in plain sight, that he's owned by this guy forever. They had a little period, which I wrote about on the Substack, of falling out, which was fun a couple months ago, because I think Putin was like, "You're not bombing our pals Iran," but Bibi probably made him a better offer. They're all. I mean, these are essentially a collection of like the worst people alive. So maybe at that moment, Bibi was bribing him with something further, supporting him somehow, to keep him out of of prison, trying to get his members of the base back. Who knows? Maybe,
or threatening to release stuff.
Yes.
Well, there's that too, right? Epstein, remember, was at the Mossad. I mean, there's just so many.
I'm on, but yes.
Yeah.
There's so many sort of different layers here. We're living in a house of cards world. I didn't grow up in this political world working on campaigns. I didn't think it was realistic that, I think he was vice president at the time on the show, could push somebody on the train tracks in DC. Turns out I wasn't creative enough, right, about what they could do. And we were much worse, and I knew things, obviously. Like, I knew Nixon sat down with, the North Vietnamese, and I knew that Reagan, of course, with his meetings with Iran, while they still had our hostages. I mean, I'm not naive, and yet I didn't think we could get to that level of being a mob run, sort of international mob syndicate run country, but we are. So, and this guy's been owned forever. And really, whoever's making him the best deal, if it's a Qatari jet, or if it's Bibi, again, there's a lot of different angles he could use. Get the religious Jews back on board if they're off board or whatever the hell it is, And at that moment, he did something that pissed Putin off. And Putin had his little puppy dog Medvedev go out there and start attacking Trump, and saying and even actually pushing some of the Epstein stuff. So it was kind of interesting but now it seems, he's back on board. I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
That's what's called in naval fighting a shot across the bow.
Yes.
Well,
again, like Putin forever has been like, you had one job. Right. I supported you for only one reason, right?
Sanctions aren't lifted yet.
Not giving me Ukraine. Like great, you changed the 2016 platform, that's helped. But you can't even get any information on Zelensky spending like $45,000 to put a bunch of drones and trucks to go a few thousand miles and cause us $8 billion in damage, blowing up like 45 or 50 of our fighters. And now I'm pretty embarrassed and look like an asshole. So that it may have been all of that combined. Who knows?
Yep.